say that when you cut your hair, it's supposed to be symbolic of you going through some sort of rite of passage, or maybe a period of personal growth. But it can also be the sign of some sort of midlife crisis type shit. So, I'll let y'all decide which one is which for me. Honestly, it's just getting annoying. Like, I got food in it, and I'm starting to eat my mustache, and I thought, hey, you know what, I'm starting this cut. This is a period of change. Let's just shave the fucker off. So here we go. Oh, this is going to be such a mistake. No turning back now. Alright, I'm gonna grab the razor and finish this off. Complete the transformation from homeless man to high school teen. You know, honestly, if I had known my acne was going to be this bad, I might not have done this. Jesus. I guess the beard does hide that, so that is one reason why I look less disgusted. I'm still not quite used to how smooth this all feels. I feel like a baby again. Really need to mark dates on this calendar off. I really need to update that calendar. I feel like I've been talking a lot about like nutrition and my cut, and haven't really been talking about what I've been doing in terms of training. The last month of training has been going all right, I suppose. There's been some program hopping, I would say, but the reason for that is not just because of, you know, me being impatient for some gains. It's been also just figuring out what I actually can do in terms of my schedule. At this point in time, we're like in the last like 3 or 2 weeks of the semester, and shit's going down. I mean, I got projects, I got presentations, I got papers, I got exams, I got, you know, certification tests, all kinds of shit. And then also, I'm also trying to move out of this place right now and move into a place that's much closer for campus, because next semester is going to be 100% face-to-face again. And I don't want to be commuting an ass load of time like I am now if all my classes are face-to-face. So there's just a lot going on. And all that means is that I'm going to do something that I really don't want to do. If you know me, you know that I love training, and it's most of what I think about all day. Most of the time I'm thinking about being in the gym, wishing I was in the gym, what can I do to be better in the gym, etc., etc., etc. That is to say, I've been training at a high frequency since the lockdown ended, because I really missed the gym the most during the lockdown. So I've been training 5 days a week, pretty much the entirety of the time since the lockdown was over. And I'm coming to realize that now, as things are getting really serious, I just can't do that anymore. As much as I really don't want to, I have to slash a day. I have to go back to a 4-day split at least. There's just too much to do, and I need more free time to do it. And I also need to cut my workout times down a little bit. Really briefly, let me discuss what I've been doing the last month and why I think I need a change. I've been running pretty much a 5-day split for the last month, and it's been pretty power builder-esque. Like, I ran my own upper-lower split for a very, very long time. I think I talked about that. That was a really high frequency upper-lower split. That was a 6-day per week upper-lower split. Then I transitioned into a 5-day full-body split. That was kind of very power builder-esque, and there was a lot of volume on the power lifts. Like, these workouts should be done by people who don't have that much else to do, or at least have a better work capacity than I did. Which is another reason why I think I need to split this up, is I was doing stuff that works and would have been good, but I'm just not in shape yet for those kinds of workouts. So I'm going to back off the volume. I'm going to back off the frequency, unfortunately. And I'm moving back to a 4-day split. I also wanted to run kind of a strength phase where I focus purely on like the power lifts and just getting stronger at those. So there's a plethora of programs to choose from. I could have written something myself, but I just kind of didn't want to. I kind of wanted all of the work to be taken care of for me, and so that I could focus on other stuff at this current time. Although I did enjoy programming for myself, and it was really nice to, use my own personal knowledge to hit PRs, which is one of the most gratifying things that I ever have. In fact, I can't believe that I haven't done this yet and even showed you guys. I hit a 330-pound bench. So we're going to roll that clip real quick. But yeah, I was kind of shocked because if you recall from my goals video, I said that I didn't think I was going to hit another bench PR this year. And like, there's a 15-pound PR right there. And coincidentally, that was taken less than a month after my 315 PR. So I have no fucking clue. Anyway, back to what I'm going to be running. This is all just an elaborate setup to show you guys what I'm going to be running. And what I'm going to be running is, I'm going to be running the TSA 9-week intermediate training cycle. Now, there are 2 9-week intermediate training cycles that are on the TSA website. There's the 2.0 and the 1.0, I guess. Originally, I wanted to go with the 2.0 because I feel like if it's a second version, it's going to be slightly better. And, this also goes into a mock meet, which is what I would probably be doing anyway. But if you look at the 2.0, they actually recommend that you run the 1.0 first. So I'm going to run the 1.0. If you guys don't know who the Strength Athlete or TSA is, I strongly recommend you check them out. They've got some great content on Instagram, and they have a great podcast that I've been listening to on my drives to school. So anyway, let's go ahead and download our 9-week intermediate training cycle. All right, so here we have the program, and there's a Q&A section at the first page. I would encourage you guys to read this. I've already read it. But the page that we're looking for, so we got these pages down here. So the pages we're going to look for is the Maxis Plus chart. This is what we're going to use to plug in our 1RMs. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to switch to pounds because that's what we use here. And for the squat, I'm going to go ahead and plug in 320 pounds. And I hit that for a double at an RPE 8 recently. So we're going to go ahead and slide a 4 on there. And that would give us, what is that, 349.1? That's about 350. That definitely seems about right. The reason we put 4 here is because a double at 8 is a 4 rep max. So, and I have not tested my squat max. I haven't tested my squat max in a very, very long time. Like, in absolute terms, 320 pounds is the most I've put on the bar, wow, ever. So hopefully we're going to fix that soon. But yeah, haven't tested squat max in a very, very long time. Also haven't tested deadlift max in a very long time. Pretty much the only thing I've tested is my bench. And I showed you guys the clip earlier, so we're just going to plug in 330 for that bench. And for the deadlift, the most recent thing that I hit was 365, and that was at a single, which was RPE 8, so that would be 3. And that gives us 386.5, which is around 385 pounds on the deadlift. And I think that's pretty accurate. And this is what we're going to go with. So now we can look at the other tabs here. This is the warm-up routine. Click to choose. What does our drop-down list say? I think this is a little... seems a little like gratuitous. I mean, 3 different sections for the warm-up. It's basically just these 2 and then some extra stuff for the bands, or for the bench press rather. But I think this is a little gratuitous. However, you know, you're more than welcome to play with that if you want. And then this is the program. So usually I wouldn't show you guys the program, but this is a freebie, so I don't have any problem with showing you guys. I've already skimmed through this. Basically, you have an intro week, and then I would say, quote, the real work begins here, and then we basically slowly volumize, and then about here, we start to intensify, and the volume starts to drop, and then it leads into this final week. This is a max out right here. I mean, you're basically in week 9, you're maxing out. And as y'all saw, that was very, very minimalistic. I mean, we're doing 4 movements per exercise. Like I said, I don't want to be in the gym for, you know, 2 hours anymore. I can't really afford that time. So cutting out a lot of exercises is one of the best ways to do that. This is a 4-day split, as you guys saw. We are benching 3 times per week still, which is just great. And we are squatting twice, and we're doing deadlifts twice. But the second deadlift is like a variation, so it doesn't really count as a deadlift. But yeah, this particular variation is pause deadlifts, which is absolutely perfect because I love pause deadlifts. And I think that pause deadlifts are one of the best, if not the best, deadlift accessory. I love them. This first week is looking like a piece of cake. I mean, it is an intro week. Fatigue is low. Volume is, I guess you could say, high. But, I mean, there's like, 230 on bench. That's kind of a joke. But, yeah, running the TSA Intermediate version 1 program, I'm really excited. This is the first time I'm actually doing like a pure strength phase. I've pretty much had my toes dipped in the power builder pool, focusing on the power lifts as a form of progression, but also chasing the pump. But I think as my first sort of program going into this cut, I think it's probably a good idea to perhaps consider doing a strength block. Excited to see how much progress I make. If I just make like an ass load of progress, I might run this twice in a row. But more than likely what I'll do is I will run this and then run like a more hypertrophy style block. Maybe a power builder style block, or maybe even just a full hypertrophy block. Like just all of the volume. Anyway, I'm kind of itching to work out right now, and it's not just because I shaved my face. We got to go over to the supplement shelf and set up this pre-workout. It's more like the supplement graveyard now, though. We only have 2 of the old stack of pre-workouts left. Ghost Legend, Max Mango, and Ghost Bubblicious. The Max Mango I've had for a very, very long time. I'm surprised it still works. And the Bubblicious I've had since in the pandemic, because I'm an idiot and I bought a pre-workout during a time where all the gyms were closed. The 2 new ones are C4 Sport Fruit Punch. I didn't even buy this one. You know, my dad was at the grocery store and I was out of creatine, and I said, hey, can you grab me some creatine at the store? And then this is what he came home with. And I was like, Dad, this is a pre-workout. This is not creatine. He's like, oh. I mean, it is C4, so it tastes good, but the performance is, you know, leaves a lot to be desired. I basically have a heaping serving every single time that basically gets it done. The 4th one is actually something that I bought myself This was a Mr. Hyde. I was intrigued by the flavor. Blue raspberry popsicle. And then I was kind of disappointed because the flavor is like just okay. This is what we're going to be taking today. So let's set it up. What are you guys doing? What are you looking at? Chilled water here. Our funnel. Gonna pop our Mr. Hyde Blue Raz in there. It smells delicious, but it's not quite there in terms of taste. Mr. Hyde is also pretty underdosed. I remember back in the day, Mr. Hyde used to have this super stimulant in it that made it just one of the best pre-workouts on the market. And then that super stimulant got banned because I'm sure somebody died. And now Mr. Hyde is a neutered shell of his former self. It's up there with Jacked 3D, Mesomorph, ESP. Very blue. Cheers. See, I mean, it's pleasant. It's just sweet enough. But it's just not what I'm looking for, man. All right, well, this has been fun. I'm going to go ahead and hit the gym. Take you guys through day one. All right, welcome to the commentary part of TSA Intermediate, first day, week 1. This is an intro week, and that means that all we're doing this week is acclimatizing ourselves to the new program. Most novices come from 3-day splits, so if this is a program that you transition into after running a standard novice routine, then this actually might be a shock to your system. But for me, I'm used to running 5 to 6 day splits, and this week we're not even touching percentages close to 75% of 1 rep max on any of our lifts. So this is pretty much just a cruise week just to get acclimatized to the new split. Started off, of course, with the squat. Can't do anything without doing squats. So I want you guys to notice a couple of things about these squats. First of all, I've been doing mobility work for my shoulders. So I've been really trying to stretch them and my lats out because I really do want to transition into low bar. And I really think I'm making a lot of good progress there. Like, my shoulders and my lats feel the most loose they've ever felt in a very, very long time. So don't slack on your mobility work like I have. Like, I'm this close. I'm not quite in the low bar position just yet, but I'm really, really close. And this sort of mid/low-esque high bar stance that I've got, or not stance, but back position that I've got, is feeling really, really smooth, really comfortable, and no bicep pain, which is awesome. Number 2, the shoulders and lats aren't the only place that I'm doing mobility work on. As you can see, I am squatting in flats now and achieving pretty similar, if not the exact same depth that I have been achieving with heels. And the reason I'm switching to flats is because I just feel more confident for some reason, more stable. I can spread the floor a lot easier, and I really do want to have super mobile ankles. And I don't want to use the the heels as a crutch. So I want to be able to hit depth no matter what I am doing. So we are working on ankle mobility as well. And I'm very, very pleased to say, with the sort of minimal time I've been working on it, the results are pretty nice. Like, compared to what I was doing at the start, I could barely hit depth. Like, seriously, it was like more than just on the line like it is now. It was like pretty much a half squat. So anyway, that was a quick 4x5 with 255 pounds. Pretty simple stuff. Next, we moved on into bench press. The bench press is going to be a funny little thing. for the first week or so here. Just looking ahead, I'm seeing that we have a lot of benching in our future. So not only are we benching 3 times per week, but basically like most, if not save for like one of our presses, is a bench. And that press is the overhead press. So we're doing bench and we're doing close grip bench in the same workout. So this was a first time for me. I honestly didn't know what to expect going into this. So, you know, maybe this is a great idea and it'll just carry over in ways that I cannot even fathom or foresee. But I do kind of worry about overuse. So we'll see how that plays out. But, you know, the guys at TSA are way smarter than me, so they obviously know what they're doing. Anyway, this is just a boring 3x7 with 230 pounds on my regular grip bench. And what I'm thinking is that, well, we'll talk about that in just a second here. We move on to these. So what we're supposed to do is chest supported rows. And this is the only chest supported row I really have access to. Like the benches in my gym, I can't really set up for like a seal row type deal. So we've got this machine. I know that this was not the intention when they said do a chest supported row, which was to do it on a machine. I understand that. But unfortunately, this is kind of what I'm working with, and I'm just gonna sort of have to deal with it. And we're not doing a lot of reps here. I mean, this was 3 sets of 6. And I did 140, 150, and then 160 pounds for this last set. And it was still not even close to RPE. So I don't really know what I'm going to do about that in the future. I guess we're just going to have to keep using the machine. So as you can see, we moved on to close grip. This is the final movement of the workout. And this close grip is actually getting heavier. We're working with heavier weights than with the regular grip, which is kind of funny. Like this is 235 and my regular grip bench was 230. And another thing that's really interesting about this close grip is that, like, I don't know if it's like I haven't just done this movement in a long time or something, but like all my warm-ups felt so much better than my regular grip. Like maybe it was just because I was already warm from doing the regular grip, but this close grip felt nice and it felt smooth. So that's definitely something that I'm going to have to watch out for in the future. Anyway, guys, that's kind of the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the future for where this program leads us. See you next time.